This is Nicole Drake. Stay tuned now for the 6 o'clock news, when we'll be bringing you a report on the power failure in Center City, the resignation of City Council President Collins, and also the story of a tragic fire in Glenboro that took the life of Hollywood publicist Eddie Vaughn and destroyed the set of Mansion of the Damned.
Oh, and don't you want to see it?
I'm not sure I do.
I still can't believe Uncle Eddie's really...
Maybe seeing it on TV will make it seem real, finally.
Oh, it was real enough to me, Brian. Seeing Eddie in that chapel this afternoon.
Oh, and what about, you know, the burial? Have you decided what to do yet?
I don't know what to do. Called his lawyer in Los Angeles.
How about his ex-wife?
Which one? No, I think it's better to talk to the lawyer. He'll know what Eddie wanted.
I wish I knew what Eddie wanted, what he was trying to tell me before he died.
My God, Nola, have you forgotten? Brian isn't Owen's child, he's my son.
Eddie Vaughn, don't you ever say that aloud again, do you hear me? You swore to me that you would never mention that again.
That was then, Nola. That was 25 years ago.
And it's just as important to me as it was then. No, it's more important now. My marriage is in enough trouble as it is. Are you trying to end it completely? Is that what you want to do?
No, of course
because
not.
Because that's exactly what you'll do if Owen learns the truth.
Mom, are you okay?
Poor Eddie. Poor Eddie.
Maybe we shouldn't watch this damn news program.
No, Daddy, please. I just have to see it.
Besides, I think Eddie would be very disappointed if we didn't see it. His last spectacular publicity stunt.
Oh. Brian, that's a dreadful thing to say.
I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean it that way. But you've got to admit, with all of Eddie's talk about the curse on this picture and all the things that went wrong with making it...
Brian, the movie is made. The fire didn't happen until after the final day of shooting.
And there was no curse on the picture, Brian. It was just carelessness. And I still don't understand how it happened, Noel.
I've told you everything I can remember. When I turned on the lights, there was this terrible sort of flash. I'm sure something was wrong with the wiring.
There must have been. And I'm sure we had it very carefully checked before we started shooting.
We knew that the wiring was faulty the minute we saw that sound stage, and we had it all redone at no small expense, I might add.
I don't mean to sound crass, Daddy, but the soundstage was insured.
Of course we were insured, darling. We had to be. I mean, really, what difference does that make?
I'm sure the insurance company will investigate, Paige. They'll probably be able to tell us what the cause was.
Are we going to watch the program,
all right,
aren't we?
The release of Owen Maddisson's film, Mansion of the Damned, may be longer in coming than expected, because one scene, definitely not on the shooting schedule, was this one that took place last night at the movie soundstage. The fire was first spotted by Glenboro Deputy Sheriff Sam Birdwell, who called out the volunteer fire department. But by the time Glenboro's fire department arrived at the scene, the blaze was completely out of control. Fortunately, the movie's star, actress Nola Patterson, who was on the soundstage when the fire started, managed to escape without harm. However, press agent Eddie Staten Vaughn wasn't as lucky. Mr. Vaughn entered the burning building under the impression that Miss Patterson was still inside. Apparently, he was overcome by smoke inhalation. Volunteer firemen managed to drag him outside, but they were too late to save his life. Eddie Vaughn was one of the unique breed of Hollywood personalities, a man who never made the spotlight, but who stood behind it, illuminating the sometimes quite ordinary people and events with a glow that made them appear magical. It's the gift of people like Eddie Vaughn to project an image of Hollywood celebrities as magnified as the image they project on the screen. There aren't many Eddie Vaughns left, but we feel that if there were a screenwriter in heaven, he couldn't have plotted a more dramatic end to Eddie Vaughn's life. The hero rushing into a burning building to save his best friend's wife. In this time, it wasn't hokum and it wasn't hype. It was Eddie Vaughn. Fade out, the end.
Oh, God, Daddy.
I had been in Glenboro 5 minutes earlier, I could have saved him.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. You went out there to see Nola Maddison.
Yeah. She called me right after I accepted your dinner invitation and said that we should get together. She thought that I should come out to the studio because the Mansion of the Damned set was being struck.
Well, that was nice and friendly of her.
Yeah, and then we were supposed to go somewhere and talk.
About what? I mean, if it's any of my business.
Well, I think you know what we were going to talk about, Steve.
She knows about you and her husband, right?
Yes, of course she knows. Owen doesn't like to keep secrets. I've been trying to explain that to you, Steve. He doesn't like lying to his wife.
So the meeting was canceled because of the fire, right?
Yes.
What about Eddie Vaughn? What was he doing out there?
I don't know. I guess he went out there to find out why Mrs. Maddison wasn't at the party, and then he walked into the building. God.
Hey, come on, baby. It's gonna be all right. Here.
Is my eyes a little red, huh?
Mm-hmm. So is your hair.
God, Steve, I don't know why you put up with me. I really don't.
Do you really not know why?
To the way I've treated you? My God. The way I reacted when you asked me to marry you. You know, it was the most beautiful question anybody ever asked me. I gave you such a rotten answer.
No. No, you didn't. You gave it to me straight. You said you didn't want to be married. That you had something else you wanted to do.
Something else, Steve, not someone else.
Yeah, well, I guess that was true then.
Look, I just didn't think that I could make them both work, that's all. I mean, learning how to be a cop and a wife at the same time.
Yeah, not too many cops get married to each other.
It's not because I didn't care for you.
I know.
I did. I still do.
Yeah, careful.
I've been a little afraid to say that. Afraid that maybe you would misunderstand me. Or think I was a hypocrite. Because, you see, Steve, I do care for you. But I care for Owen, too. Oh, God, that sounds awful.
No. Just honest.
Steve. You know, I never thought that I'd be able to... You know, it's impossible for two people to care. You know, you're always told when you grow up that there's only one person for you, you know, when you fall in love. There's just one person that you're supposed to feel right about. You know, all the books and all the movies, they all tell you that that's the way it's supposed to be. It's just not that way for me.
You know, I remember a guy named Rainey Cooper. And he was very special to you one time.
Well, you think Cliff Nelson's right about me? Maybe I've got some sort of a complex?
Cliff Nelson. Cliff Nelson is the last person in the world you want to ask about getting your head on straight. He's so messed up, his head's so crooked he can't even keep his hat on.
Well, Steve, haven't you ever felt this way? I mean, haven't you ever not known what you want?
Yeah. Oh, sure. When I was recovering from being a teenager, I think I had a crush on a dozen girls. A couple of them didn't even know I was alive.
I can't imagine that. What happened?
Well, I found someone special. Someone I cared about. And kept on caring about. even though she had a lot of her own problems. She had a father who was stealing the city blind. She had a crush on a killer. She got mixed up with a married man. You know, I'm beginning to think that maybe all those romantic ideas in the movies and the novels, well, maybe they're true. That for someone, there is someone special forsaking all others. God, where have I heard that before?
The marriage ceremony.
Oh, sorry. Don't hear that often.
Oh, you'll hear one soon enough. When Calvin and Star get married.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I guess I better be going. Deborah, I still love you.
You haven't kissed me in one hell of a long time. Detective?
I have to be back at work soon.
Well, Lou Napoli's already on the site in Glenboro. He says that he thinks the fire definitely is of suspicious origin, but that's not really gospel. I mean, he hasn't made an official investigation yet. He can't do that until you give the word.
Deputy, a man died in that fire. If it's arson, then we have a homicide case out there.
Yes, sir, that is definitely true. That's why I thought I should tell you about all this now.
All right, we don't need to wait for an official request. You tell Napoli to dig up what he can before the ashes get cold.
I'll get him right on it.
Come on in.
Oh, hi, Calvin. Chief, you said you wanted that autopsy report as soon as possible.
Stick around. This is about the fire victim.
Yeah, there's no question as to how Mr. Vaughn died. It was smoke inhalation.
So he was alive during the fire?
Yeah, definitely. There's smoke stains in the nostrils, air passage, carbon monoxide in the blood.
Well, that means that the story that Mrs. Maddison told us then is accurate, at least as far as that's concerned. I mean, the guy actually walked right into a burning building.
Yeah, a number of bruises on the body also, probably sustained as he was trying to fight his way through the flames. What was he trying to do, be a hero or something?
Let's not give him a medal yet.
Well, look, I gotta call Glenboro. Lou's waiting to hear from us. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Does the fire look suspicious?
Can't be sure yet. Glenboro police have asked for our assistance, so we're gonna give it to them. You know these movie people, don't you?
Oh, some of them. I treated Paige Maddison once. I think my wife and I were the only outsiders allowed on the set for Mansion of the Damned while they were shooting. I was there to treat that actor, Trent Archer.
What's your wife doing on the set?
Oh, she's on a news assignment.
Yeah, she interviewed me the other day. I've been watching your program. You married a beautiful woman, Doctor.
Yes, I did.
I did too once.
Oh, really?
But that's over now. Is that my report?
Yes, sure.
Thanks.
Chief, you do much socializing?
Not much.
Well, my wife just said to me last night, we were watching a repeat of that interview of yours, as a matter of fact. You probably don't know many people in Monticello yet.
Mostly cops and crooks, Doctor, and a few politicians.
Well, no comment. But she wondered if you might like to have dinner with us some night. How about it?
Sure, I'd love to. But listen, just the three of us. No blind dates. That's how I met my wife.
Okay.
Sure, it's in here someplace. I saw it on her desk just this morning.
Well, if we don't find it, we're going to have to send somebody out to buy a copy because Dr. Lennox is not going to be very happy if we don't show a copy of his masterpiece on the air. That's the reason he agreed to do this interview this evening, you know.
Goodness among us, here it is.
Ah, great. Thank you.
Herbert Broderick Lennox. Well, that's a name for you. Is he a psychiatrist?
Yes, he is. He's going to be here a little early tonight so we can talk before the interview. Thing about talking to a psychiatrist is you always kind of worry if he's analyzing you.
Well, I don't know. The only psychiatrist I ever knew was when I was in prison.
Well, you liked him, didn't you?
Well, yeah, he meant well. He tried to help. I guess I was kind of hostile to him, though, and considering the circumstances. I mean, I did think I was going crazy.
Must have been an awful period in your life. All those needless fears about your sanity.
Needless? I mean, how could you say needless, especially after I find out that my mother spent the last years of her life in a mental institution?
Yes, but then you found out that your mother is none other than Margot Huntington.
Yeah.
I've got to read this book. Madness Among Us. You know, the title gives me the shivers. Book does too, for that matter. Do you know what this is about?
No.
It's about psychopaths that function in society without giving themselves away. Look at this. This is what we were just talking about. The role of heredity.
Oh, come on. I don't know how much weight I put on heredity, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm just as glad my mother didn't spend... I'm sorry, but what am I saying?
Oh, no.
Well, she was Miles' mother. Well, come on. I mean, there's no reason why Miles would have inherited any kind of mental deficiency. I mean, just look at him. You can tell that.
Just don't worry about it, okay? I mean, I know perfectly well that there is, you know, very slight connection between heredity and mental illness. I mean, there are dozens of other factors involved. Besides, if Miles isn't going to worry about it, why should I?
Yes. Yes, this is he. Ackerman's secretary. I'm sorry, what was that? Well, that's very thoughtful of you. No, it's just a little surprising, that's all. Fine. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, he's coming here.
Eddie's attorney?
Yeah, his secretary said that he was already on the plane. Well, that's good. He can determine the disposition of the body. Oh, God. Oh, Nola. Just to refer to Eddie as the body.
Poor Owen. This has been a terrible shock for you, I know it.
I don't know. It's just taking the heart out of me, Nola. The idea of going out to Hollywood and getting this picture finished. No, it just doesn't seem important anymore.
Oh, but it is. Remember what Brian said. It's even more important now. You can't just let it all go to waste. No. All that hard work that Eddie put in to get the picture started.
You're right. I guess I'm just depressed. That's all.
Well, I understand, darling. How could you feel otherwise?
Of course.
Well, I'll go change, and then we can all have a nice, quiet dinner together.
Nola, I won't be here. I have some things I've got to do.
I see. Well, I'll go change anyway.
Hi. Is it okay to talk?
Oh, yeah. Owen, hello. Yeah, I'm alone. How are you? How's the family?
Deborah, there's a pall over this house that you could cut with a knife. But, to be expected, of course.
Well, I'm very sorry about what happened, Owen.
Yeah, well, thank you. Deborah, listen, are you free tonight? Because if you were, it would just be the biggest favor in the world you could do to me. I really need to talk to you tonight more than you can possibly imagine.
Well, yeah, I am free. Do you think it's a very good...
Oh, Deborah, I've got to see you. Please. And we could go to Armando's. Oh, listen, don't worry. I'll get us in there. Let's see. How about pick you up about 8 o'clock?
All right.
All right, I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Oh, hello, Armando. It's Owen Maddisson here.
Well, I'm fine. How are you? Good. Armando, I know it's a little last minute, but is it possible for you to put a little table for two aside this evening? About 8:15? Okay, Ellie. Oh, Armando, that's terrific. Yeah, fine. Listen, I appreciate this very much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Hello, is this Armando? This is Mrs. Maddison, Armando. My husband just called you. Well, he made a slight mistake about that reservation. It's not for 2, it's for 3. Yes, we have a guest with us. Is that all right? Oh, wonderful. Yeah, yes, thank you. Goodbye. Yes, thank you very much.